Welcome to the Diary of the Broken. Today is another episode of our weekly series. Now, last week I posted about an introductory video on Diary of the Broken and what this channel is all about. I've come to discover that most people are broken. In fact, it's a burden that I have to see people come to the realization that the fact that something have happened to them in the past, that doesn't mean that it should dwell there and live there. There's a place for liberation. I've come to realize that the human nature, when we go through stuffs and feelings of disappointment, probably we did things that we actually had more expectations from our own end, we have a way of wanting to pay the price for it. So most times people turn to beat themselves and blame themselves for what had happened to them. They sometimes feel they were at fault. Sometimes they feel, for instance, for a child that they receive love from his parents, deep down he would feel if only he was a better child, if only he did that, if only he did this. Just powers and powers of excuse around why things happen to us and if only we had done some things different. The truth is, none of that would change anything. You blaming yourself for what had happened to you wouldn't change anything. And I need people to come to realization that they need to first of all accept that it wasn't their fault. And it's the fact that they were marred or broken or betrayed, doesn't mean that they should remain that way. They should continue holding on to that pain. And sometimes, yes, some of the things that we went through might be as a result of us giving some level of vulnerability. For instance, probably you loved someone dearly and the person ended up betraying you. Oh, did you watch that movie, Devil is a Liar? I just watched it yesterday. And look at it. This lady was single, she was wealthy, had her own real estate business, she was doing so well. And all of a sudden she fell in love with this fashion designer, what would I call him? And this guy literally betrayed that lady till the very end. Took everything from her, made her, removed her womb, or made them to remove her womb without her consent, stole every single penny she had, and then faked his death just so she could go to prison. What level of wickedness is that? And sometimes you wonder, how can someone heal from that pain? You've heard of stories of people that were raped while they were little. They were abused by their supposedly, people that they looked up to, probably a stepdad, an uncle. You've heard series of stories of people that loved with the whole of their heart but ended up, betrayed, broken, heartbreaks left, right and center. You've heard stories of people that literally grew up in an abusive home, dad always beating mommy, or mommy always lashing that, emotional abuse, and fights upon fights and everything. And while growing up, imagine as a child going through all of those things, just still trying to discover who you are, and then tons and tons of things kept piling up on you, different events that left you broken and shattered. And now you're a woman, now you're a grown-up man, but those scars are still there. It's like it's an imprint that no one can erase. You still go through that pain. Sometimes you stay with your friends. In fact, your lifestyle currently is as a result of those things that you went through. You try to tell yourself that you're tough, nothing's going to break you, but deep down you know that you are soft and you just wish that someone could help you take away the pain. It really can be painful. It could be the loss of a loved one. That pain, it's something that No one can comfort you. No one can talk you out of it. Each and every one of us is suffering from one level of pain to another. But the sad thing is that we allow those pains to so much mar us, and we end up hurting other people because of what we've experienced. So at the end of the day, I was hurt, and then I end up hurting another person, and because of what I did to the person now becomes hurt and becomes, built a wall around himself, so that he or her is no longer vulnerable to other people, and the cycle continues. But my question is, when is that going to stop? The answer is, it begins with you. Yes, you. You have to accept the fact that, yes, you're going through things. And for some reasons, it wasn't your fault. And even if it's because you made yourself vulnerable, or you loved someone dearly, or you were just so naive that you trusted so dearly, it's not your fault. It's not a bad thing to love someone unconditionally. It's not a bad thing to trust someone. But it's so unfortunate that people we trust, or the people we love, they're just the wrong persons. Amongst many other examples. But you first have to accept the fact that it's not your fault, and then you need to heal. Yes, you need to heal. And it starts by accepting the fact that you are broken. Don't run away from it. Don't try to play the hard girl or the hard guy. You can heal. On our next episode, we'll be discussing more on the process of healing and how you can start by, first of all, acceptance, and we'll talk more on some of these processes, because indeed restoration is possible, and it begins with acceptance. See you on my next post. Bye.